Hello guys, I'm Danny Mac and I just wanted to introduce my new time-lapse. So I just wanted to try a sort of new format with these time-lapse and tutorials I've been doing and combine them together into a kind of hybrid video. The best way I can think of to describe it is sort of like a live stream, but the boring bits are sped up. Like a live stream, I'm open to any questions, so leave them in the comments below. Now, this first time-lapse that I've recorded is mainly to sort out any teething problems, of which there've been a lot more than I expected. And originally I did record a tutorial that went sort of halfway through this time-lapse, but it didn't quite work. I think my head was still in time-lapse mode and I didn't feel like I really explained things properly, so I ended up cutting that. But in future videos expect to see more tutorial type content as well. Now, a good thing to do if you're using Spotlight like I'm doing here is to come over to your movie, so that's up here, this tab here, and come to timeline and click show. Now what's going to happen is when you click up here in the timeline, that's going to save that view, and if you hit the left and right arrow keys you can go back to save the views. I don't know if you can see what I've done there, but I've saved a view which is exactly in line with where I want it. And what that means is that I can now make sure it's looking correct from different angles, and then if I want to get back to the reference, I just need to click the left or right arrow key. So what I'm doing here is sort of turning up and down the opacity just to see how it lines up with the reference. I'll do this quite a few times just to see what's going on. When I've noticed something needs moving, so I can see now that the eyes need changing a little bit, I'll try and change them from this front view, but I know that once I turn it, it's probably not going to look right. So these are things you need to think about when you're doing this sort of thing. It's not going to be right from every angle, and that's really important. So you can see it looks pretty crazy at the minute, so now my job is to sort of delicately put it how I think it should go, but bearing in mind from a front view the proportions are close to where they should be. I just want to sort of add at this point that at some point in the sculpt, always some point in the sculpt, your model is going to look ugly, and the goal isn't to try and avoid that, but it's to develop the confidence to sculpt your way out of that. Okay, so I'm here now. You can see where I am topology wise, and with having my subdivision level 0 with topology like this, like half decent, following the flow of anatomy where I want the anatomy to be, it just makes it a lot easier to control the mesh. And I think now would be a good time to check it against the reference again. So if I press left and right, if you remember up here we have it's still saved on the timeline. And then what I'll do is sort of bring this back and line it up. And the way I do this is to sort of find the chin first and then just scale it up from there. It's actually not as bad as I was expecting it to be, but it still needs some work.